What's up, guys? I am here with Andrea to kind of chat on her success story with Infofit and what she's done with her certification. So, Andrea, I'm just going to give the floor to you. Kind of talk to us a little bit about, what your life was like before you got certified. Like, what were you doing? What were you up to? All that fun stuff.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Before Infofit, I worked for an IT company doing marketing and advertising as well as client management. And it was a great job. I loved the people that I worked with, but it was 9 to 5 in an office, a bit of a grind. And I knew I wanted something different. And I've always been a healthy person, always active in the gym. And so I reached out to Infofit to see what their program would be like.
You reached out to them. You obviously got into the program, the certification program. What was your experience like throughout the time that you were getting certified? How were your courses? How were the instructors? What was your overall experience?
It was awesome. I found everybody at Infofit so helpful and nurturing. And for me, what I found really important was how hands-on it was, because as much as you can be certified on paper, that doesn't necessarily mean you're ready to take on somebody's physical being. And that's a lot of responsibility. And you can injure someone pretty easily without knowing how to do it properly. And I thought that was a huge piece with InfoFit, because they not only help prepare you for the exam, whichever one you choose to take, but they give you that hands-on experience that you need after the exam.
Yeah, it's crazy that you said that because like that's one of the biggest things is like we'll pop in and we're like, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna get certified. And now people like literally trust me with their entire health.
Infofit also has the practicum that you can do after, where you do X amount of hours working with a trainer and kind of shadowing. And I thought that was huge because I got to see the process from beginning to end. I got to hear the stories of the clients, where they've been, where they are now, what the goals are for the future, and what the programming looks like surrounding that. And I loved that part.
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about what I like to call the juice. So that's kind of where you're at now. It's kind of the reason why people initially come in for like, what is life gonna look like after?
It's such a rewarding industry, and there's a lot of benefits that come with it, like the flexibility and the money that you can make, and all that is huge, and I think a big draw for people to want to come. But it's a grind. Like if you want that flexibility and you want that influx of income that comes with being a certified trainer, it doesn't come overnight. You're going to be certified, and then you're going to say, oh my God, how do I get my first client? And from there, how do I get my second client? How do I retain my clients? And that's huge. It's a ton of work. You have to be super engaging. You cannot be on your phone when you're with your clients. You can't get distracted when you're with your clients. When you're with them, period. Full stop. And that's how you're going to retain them. But it's a lot of work. And not to say that that's a bad thing. I love the work and I want to retain my clients. I mean, I've had one woman and her mom for so long that her 7-year-old daughter is now taking my self-defense classes. And I used to bottle feed her when she had just given birth to her. And so I've had this client for 7 years. And so that's the goal, right? Like you want to be a part of these people's families, but it takes a lot of time. Like I started by training my friends, and from there, my friends would refer people that I didn't know. And then from there, those people would refer their friends. And it takes a while. I mean, I've been doing this since 2011. And I would say it took about 5 years before I could call it my full-time job. And So I don't know. I think that's an important piece to know, that it doesn't come overnight and that you need to be patient. And that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It actually means you're doing it right, because you want the sustainability and you want to be able to have people for forever. I mean, I think it's a part of their lifestyle now. I know that I see these people 2 or 3 times, sometimes 4 times a week, and there's no end in sight. And that's amazing. But it took a really long time.
What's one piece of advice that you would give to someone right now who's thinking about taking the certification through Infofit?
I would ask what their why is. Like, why are they coming to you? What drew them to you? Ask them, where they see themselves in 5 years and where they see themselves in 10 years, because this can be a lovely supplemental thing to do. It doesn't have to be your everything, and you can find a lot of fulfillment in that. And that can be great as well. So I think Infofit has a way to help you find your path, and it may not have to look like what you thought it would right out of the gate. And that's okay too. And that's the other great thing about Infofit, is it doesn't have to be super disruptive to your life. You don't have to like quit your job, overhaul everything, go into Infofit and hope for the best. You can do the weekend courses. You can supplement it in a way where your life can have this really natural evolution into your next phase. So it doesn't have to be as abrupt. So for me, my question for people that want to come into the industry is why.
Is there any last words that you have, Andrea, before we hop off?
What would it be? I think just enjoy the journey and take your time. I think the part that I see in life and in society right now that I think is really sad is everybody's in such a hurry. And I think we miss a lot of the valuable pieces of life by taking our time and really enjoying the moments and enjoying our journeys. It doesn't have to happen overnight. And 10 years will go by, I promise. It always does. But enjoy the day by day, and your clients are going to enjoy you because they're going to feel you enjoying your day by day. Because so much of training, yes, you're changing their bodies, but so much of it is psychological. And, you need to be there for them and be there for yourself. And so for me, it's just enjoy your present and take your time.
Thank you so much for being on, Andrea. I'm just going to leave that as the last powerful words. Really appreciate you being on. And it sounds like this is just the beginning of your journey as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.